Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I figured I would do a quick tutorial, not really quick, but like a full face get ready with me tutorial with some new products that I have. And I haven't used some of these before, so this will be my first time using them on camera. I kind of like to do these like first impression videos. Some I have used before, some I have not. So let's get started. First, I'm gonna be using the Tom Ford Waterproof Foundation and Concealer. This is his newest launch. I have it in the shade 1.5 Cream, which is typically the shade that I use. I've been loving it with the Beauty Blender. So I just I have it damp, and then I just do the Beauty Blender dance, this like bouncy motion that you're supposed to do with the Beauty Blender. Though I always it took quite some getting used to be honest. When I first had the Beauty Blender, I was like, do I swipe? Do I bounce? What is the bouncing, what is the bouncing technique? So it definitely takes some getting used to. I just bought my mom a Beauty Blender, and I was working with her, and I'm like, you have to stipple and kind of bounce and then push the product around. So I have found that this foundation looks so much better put on with a Beauty Blender because it is heavy duty. So if you use any type of brush or kind of buffing brush, it can go on way too heavy, and it gives significant coverage. Obviously, as it says, it's foundation concealer. So concealer obviously always kind of means that it's more coverage. But the formula when used with a buffing brush is way too heavy. And I was kind of I don't know if I love this foundation. It looked really cakey on my skin. And then I was like, all right, let me give it another shot, because Tom Ford formulas for foundation really work well for me. I have that stick foundation that I love from him, but I had to use it with a Beauty Blender to really get any type of good, kind of smooth, even finish. All right, beautiful. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous finish. And like I said, tip is to use it with a Beauty Blender. And then for a concealer, or just a little brightening under the eyes, I'm going to use the new Laura Mercier, what is this? The Candle Glow. Similar to the Bobbi Brown kind of retouching wand that I have, though I find this one is even more sheer. I have it in the shade 0.5, which if you want something that's not too pale, this is what you get. Because it's, for being 0.5, which is I think their palest, or one of their palest, it's not that pale. So it just gives it actually looks just kind of radiant under the eyes. This 0.5 is actually very peachy, and it looks almost dewy under the eyes. I know that sounds a little strange, but it does. It looks a little dewy under the eyes, and it's not as yellow as the Bobbi Brown that I have, but it looks it makes your under eyes look very fresh. I mean, I really do love the Bobbi Brown. If I had to compare the two, I would say, I'm putting on a little lip balm. If I had to compare the two, I would say the Bobbi Brown gives a little more coverage, whereas the Laura Mercier is very, very sheer and almost a little more dewy under the eyes. So if you do find that foundations tend to get cakey under your eyes, or you have very dry under eyes, this may be a good option for you. All right. Primer potion, Urban Decay. I forgot what I was saying. And I'm going to be using the new Dior cream eyeshadow from Holiday. I have never used any of the Dior cream eyeshadows, so I'm really excited. First, we got to do brows. Got to do what we got to do. Okay, so brows are done. Use my trusty Hourglass brow sculpting tool. I just had them done, so I always love filling in my brows right after they've been done. Just had some coffee an hour ago, and I'm really jittery. I'm not normally so jittery when I have coffee, but today it must have been like extra strength. So I'm like, woo. Okay, so the Dior Fusion Mono in the shade Infinity. So a total me color. You're looking at me being like, yeah, we know that color, you're gonna like it. But I've never tried this formula before, so I'm trying to find like a good brush for it. Okay, it's like a bouncy texture, I will say. It's very unique. It's very bouncy. I have never used any of the Dior cream shadows, so you guys know I love like the Chantecaille, which has a similar texture to this. It's, but it's not as bouncy. It feels more like the Chanel ones, which unfortunately I like, but they dry out really fast. So that's always kind of the bummer. So the color is beautiful. Absolutely magnificent. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like some shimmer and some glitter to it. It is really, really pretty. It takes some stippling to build up the shadow. That's the only bummer. Like, it's not a easy shadow to just kind of like swipe on and go. It needs some building up, which is kind of annoying. I like when shadows are much easier and I can like swipe them on and go, and I don't have to keep, like what I'm doing now, building up and building up and building up and building up. Because, yeah, it's not as full coverage as I would prefer. All right, let's just blend it out a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I love, love, love the color. The color is absolutely beautiful, but I don't know. The texture is a little, like, I couldn't really get it very even. That's annoying. I mean, I probably could if I wanted to spend another, like, 10 minutes, but this is a video, so we don't want to do that. Okay, well, really looks kind of different from one eye to the next. Okay, well, any of you that have used Dior, these like fusion shadows, like leave me a comment, let me know. Are they normally like this? Do you love them? Am I not using them properly? All right, mascara, Dior Show, this Dior product I love. I've loved Dior Show for years and years and years. Okay, mascara is finished. Now, the brush for Dior Show is like really key. This is what makes it such a fantastic mascara. It's like a fat brush with like tons of bristles. It never, I have a little piece hanging off there. It never makes my lashes look clumpy. It gives them this like feathered look, like a very feathered, dramatic, thick lash look, which I really, really love. So, all right, moving on to, let's do blush. Let's make sure I don't need anything else. Okay, so I'm using the Becca Blushed with Light Blush Trio Palette. So it's on Beautylish right now. And what am I going to use? Maybe I'll use this like pale pink one up here. And you know what I didn't bring is I didn't bring my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, which I use to prep my cheeks all the time. So I'm just going to go with... I have actually never used any Becca blushes. Shocking, I know, because they're famous for a lot of their like shimmer blushes. I have that like Champagne Pop highlighter from Jaclyn Hill. It's pretty. I mean, it's not my favorite highlighter of all time, but it's pretty. That's all you get, just pretty. This is beautiful though. This color is just, and it's going on so smoothly. I'm probably applying way too much. Yep, just applied way too much. Don't you hate that? Good thing I brought some loose powder. Brought my La Mercier loose powder, which will very easily take that down. And I'll just take some of my Beauty Blender and just, aha! Beauty Blender, that's what did it. Ever put on too much blush? Take your Beauty Blender that has some foundation on it and just pop it on the area that had too much, too much blush. Okay, so really loved that. That's really beautiful. And highlighter, I'm gonna, this is bold. The Makeup Forever, I mean, that is a highlighter. Pro Light Fusion in, I don't know, 01, I think. I think it comes in like 2 shades. And I'm trying to find my like highlighter brush here that I love for highlighter. Let's just use this one. Okay, this I have not used before, so whoa, it is bold. It gives you like, it's very iridescent. Very, very iridescent. So it has this like opalescent kind of look to it. But it's actually quite nice. I didn't think it was, I thought it was going to be way too strong, but it actually, I mean, it's bold, but it's definitely, I'm probably putting on way too much now. You know when you like don't see it at first and you're like, I'm going to put on more. I'm going to put on more. And next thing you know, you're like all highlighter. Okay. Then for lips, we are going to go with the new Makeup Forever, one of their new lip pencils. Let me just get some, wipe off the lip balm that I have. I don't like applying lip color. My lips are kind of like slippery with lip balm. Like when they're little, they're hydrated but dry. Okay, this is shade number 11. I don't like to overdraw my lips. Okay. Actually, I'm going to fill in a little bit because I really like this color. This is shade number 11. Really, really beautiful. They have so many good nudes in this collection. And then I'm going to try the new NARS Velvet Lip Glides. That really feels beautiful. That lip liner, like I love some lip liner colors, but they can be very dry. But they look great color-wise, but the formula is so dry. This is like a mixture of like kind of creamy, but kind of dry. And then the NARS Velvet Lip Glide in Unlaced. So I think this color, it's like this peachy kind of nude color. I think if I applied it by itself, it probably would be too nude for me. I love nude lips, but I don't love like dead lips. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when it's just too nude. But with the liner underneath, it deepened it up and it made it look really beautiful. Now these NARS Velvet Lip Glides, they're definitely, they feel really nice in the lips. I have a feeling though they could be a little high maintenance with darker colors or brighter colors because they have a lot of slip to them. So as I'm applying it, I'm thinking to myself, if this was like a bold shade or a dark shade, it probably would be like slipping all over the place and I'd really have to use the applicator very carefully. Okay, so the look is finished. Obviously, it's pretty basic for what I normally do. I could probably switch out like a brighter or a darker lip, especially with the eye being so neutral and not too dark. I mean, now that it's on the eyeshadow, it really, really, I'm loving it. It's actually very beautiful, but it's just the formula as I'm applying it, it just wasn't like gliding on with the kind of coverage that I had hoped. I really was having trouble like building it up. So if you've used the Fusion Monos, let me know. Leave me a comment below. And then this Becca blush. Oh, this is so beautiful. This trio. But I used this kind of light one that I guess is, I'm trying to think. Is it Wisteria, I guess? Well, it's the lighter one. And then the Makeup Forever highlighter, which, I don't know. Look at that. Look at that. It is gorgeous. I thought it was going to be, I mean, I'd probably put on a little too much now. I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's probably a little too much, but it's all right for the camera. And then the Makeup Forever lip liners. This is number 11. This is absolutely beautiful. You know, I have other shades here, actually. I have, I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, but I decided on number 11. This is number 10, which is a little more kind of peachy. Oh my gosh, it's a really fine point, so it's hard to see. It's like very, very peachy nude. This is number 13, which is a little bit deeper. It has some like brick in it, like a brick-ish nude. And then this is number 12, which is same, still like a brickish red nude. Or more like a deeper dusty rose. And then I use number 11, which I feel is like perfect. It's a little more pink too. I know it's a little hard to see, but really, really loved that. And I thought it was a great combo with the NARS Velvet Lip Glides. So hope this was helpful, and I'll link everything that I use down below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.